You crush it at work. You manage teams, you close deals, and you get that public praise. You think you're a leader. But what happens when you walk through the only door that truly matters, your front door? Are you the leader of your family, or are you just the biggest source of stress? I studied one of the most effective leaders in human history. And guess what? His greatest challenge wasn't commanding armies. It was the daily 5-second argument with his spouse. It was managing a household full of chaos, fatigue, and emotion. He cracked the code on consistent daily excellence. It wasn't about big once-a-year gestures. It was about interrupting the negative patterns. It was about two things. First, radical presence. Killing the disease of the phone and giving 100% of your bandwidth to the people you love. Second, the 5-second conflict reset. Stopping your ego from fighting and choosing to listen instead. Most of us fail at home because we let the stress walk in with us. We treat our family like an afterthought. If you want the respect you crave in the world, you have to earn the love you deserve in your own kitchen. I'm breaking down the 6 non-negotiable behaviors that rewire your home from a battleground into a harbor. This is the physics of family leadership. Stop waiting for a better day. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. We're talking about the leadership moment that defines your family culture, the 5-second conflict reset. This isn't touchy-feely stuff. This is psychological warfare against your own worst instincts. You know the scenario, the sharp word, the defensive posture, the spill that ruins your evening plans. Most people fail right here because they let their ego grab the microphone. They feel disrespected, frustrated, or simply tired, and they launch into an automatic retaliatory attack. You are not just responding to the event, you are unloading all your accumulated stress onto your loved ones, and it's destructive. The leader we're looking at mastered this gap. In those 5 seconds after the trigger fires, he made the deliberate high-stakes choice to interrupt the pattern. He didn't focus on who was wrong, he focused on what was necessary, de-escalation. Instead of a lecture, he offered a listening ear. Instead of magnifying the mistake, he minimized the stress. When you choose to listen with curiosity rather than respond with judgment, you prevent a momentary lapse, a forgotten chore, an emotional outburst, from setting up permanent residence in your relationship history. This practice, applied daily, makes your family feel safe enough to fail, safe enough to confess, and safe enough to grow. It is the single most powerful tool you possess to keep drama outside the front door and keep the emotional temperature of your home consistently low. Stop reacting, start resetting. That's your challenge. We are drilling down into radical, undivided presence. And you need to understand that this is non-negotiable if you want a thriving home. This isn't about being physically present. I know you're sitting on the couch. It's about the quality of your attention. When you walk through that door after work, you are bringing two things with you, your body and the toxic residue of your entire day. You are physically home, but your mind is still negotiating that contract, fighting that email, or planning tomorrow's agenda. Your family gets the leftovers. They get the eye contact that drifts back to the screen, the half responses, and the distracted nod. That is not connection, that is barely tolerance. This incredible leader understood that you cannot multitask connection. He made it a habit, a ritual, to shed the outside world before engaging with his family. He gave them 100% of his bandwidth because he knew that true intimacy is built not on grand gestures, but on focused available time. You have to commit to giving your family the highest quality attention, treating their stories, their games, and their simple requests as the most important negotiation of your day. Shut off the phone. Let the work stress die in the entryway. Your time with them is a finite, precious resource, and when you are physically there, you must be mentally, emotionally, and entirely there. We are tackling the acknowledgement default, and let me tell you, this is where 90% of relationships fail. They starve from a lack of verbal nutrition. You are wired to only recognize the spectacular, the massive promotion, the perfect straight-A report card, the moment someone saved the day. But life and a strong family is not built on monuments. It is built on the mundane, relentless rhythm of daily maintenance. Think about the thousands of small, invisible acts of service that hold your home together. The clean laundry, the quiet effort someone made to organize the pantry, the meal that was prepared even when they were exhausted, the simple courtesy of a listening ear. When you ignore this daily rhythm, you signal that these acts are simply the baseline, expected, and therefore worthless. They become chores taken for granted. and emotional fatigue sets in. This great leader understood that you must actively hunt for things to appreciate. You have to make appreciation the default setting, not the emergency backup you use on an anniversary. If you see someone doing a small kindness, if you see effort, if you see the result of someone's labor, you must say it out loud. This is the consistent verbalization of value. You are validating the emotional labor and the physical effort that sustains the entire household. By making gratitude the baseline, you shift the emotional climate from one of silent expectation to one of constant recognition and mutual respect, creating a powerful feedback loop that fuels positive effort every single day. We are diving deep into the 100-100 partnership rule, and if you're still clinging to the myth of 50-50, you are setting yourself up for resentment. The 50-50 mentality is transactional. I did this, so you owe me that. It's a scorekeeping system, and that system is the death of intimacy. A truly unified partnership, especially in running a household, demands 100%, 100%. This great figure demonstrated that leadership starts with wiping down the counter, literally. If he saw a task that needed doing, he didn't wait to be asked. He didn't wait for his partner to notice it, prioritize it, and then assign it. He simply executed it. Why? Because when you adopt the 100-100 mindset, you are fundamentally communicating, your burden is my burden, your comfort is my priority. This is the anti-scorecard approach. It means if you see the garbage is full, you take it out. If you see the child needs help with homework, you jump in. The standard is shared responsibility, not negotiated delegation. You are actively looking for ways to relieve the pressure on your partner and your family unit. This isn't just about chores. It's about modeling radical responsibility. It proves that you are a fully invested, active participant, not a passive consumer of the domestic environment. When both partners operate under the assumption that they are 100% responsible for the entire success of the team, the scorekeeping stops, the tension dissipates, and a powerful, unbreakable shared commitment takes root. We're talking about injecting the laugh track. And this is a critical intervention for anyone whose home has become a joyless, efficiency-driven machine. Stop operating your family like a perpetual boardroom or worse, a constant therapy session. When every interaction is serious, instructional, or conflict-oriented, you strip the emotional fuel from your environment, and that exhaustion is lethal to intimacy. This pivotal leader understood that a home must be a sanctuary built on lightness. He didn't wait for fun to spontaneously erupt. He was actively, intentionally, the chief officer of amusement. He was known for his playful demeanor, his quick wit, and his willingness to engage in pure, unadulterated silliness with his family, often lowering his own status to elevate their sense of joy. You have to recognize that you are responsible for the fun. It's not something you delegate, it's a standard you set and participate in. You have to actively schedule moments of levity, the silly game, the unexpected joke, the commitment to being entirely ridiculous for 5 minutes. Laughter is not a bonus feature, it is the essential stress release valve that prevents tension from building up and exploding later. It's emotional insurance. When you model joy and playfulness, you give your family permission to relax, to be imperfect, and to associate being home with genuine happiness, not just accountability. This deliberate act of prioritizing lightness is what makes the inevitable challenges of life bearable. It refills the emotional reserves of everyone in the house. The final, and perhaps most vital pillar, is creating a judgment-free harbor. Think about what fundamentally earns trust. The elimination of fear. If your family members, your spouse, your children, feel that sharing their vulnerabilities, their worst days, or their biggest mistakes will be met with immediate criticism, correction, or comparison, they will shut down. They will wear masks in their own home. This is where most leaders fail. They try to fix, advise, or judge instead of simply absorbing. This extraordinary man built an atmosphere so safe that his family knew they could bring their absolute failures, insecurities, and moments of emotional chaos, and they would not be dismissed or punished. He prioritized listening over lecturing. He was their safe harbor, not their judge. To create this environment, you have to consciously unhook your ego from their performance. Their mistakes are not a reflection of your failure, they are simply their human experience. Your job is to provide validation and unconditional acceptance first, allowing them to process the difficulty without the added weight of your disappointment. When you eliminate the fear of judgment, you unlock radical honesty and true emotional intimacy. This allows your loved ones to show up as their authentic, flawed selves, knowing that the foundation of your love and acceptance will never ever be shaken by their temporary failures or anxieties. This safe, non-judgmental space is the wellspring from which all strong family resilience flows. So, listen up. We've broken down the code for daily greatness. We've talked about the 100-100 partnership, the necessity of the laugh track, the non-negotiable standard of radical presence, and the power of the judgment-free harbor. Here's the gut check moment. The only thing separating you from a peaceful, powerful, legendary family life is your daily execution. You don't fail because of huge moral lapses, you fail because you lose the tiny 5-second battles. You let the stress walk in the door with you. You let the praise go unsaid. You are building your legacy in the hallway, at the dinner table, and in the 5 seconds after something goes wrong. Stop waiting for a better day, a better job, or a better moment. The moment is now. Your family needs your presence, your leadership, and your intentional joy. Your job starting today is to become the chief architect of joy and the president of presence in your own home. You know the rule. Don't think. Don't negotiate. Just act. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go build that home. Thank you for trusting me with this crucial mission. You got this, and I wish you all the luck in the world. Now get out there and lead.